Alone Together, Episode 5, where we write, record, and release a brand new song every single week. This week, we're bringing you Don't Let Me Go. This is the first week that we released the song title before we released the song. Stoked to share this one with you all. I have no idea what it sounds like. I did something on it almost a week ago now. So let's see. So how do we do this? I get the song from Phil. Phil sends me a song. I send it on to, I add some stuff. I send it on to, oh my God, Benji Boy. Benji Boy adds a little bit, whatever he wants. He adds it on, sends it on to Taimir. Taimir adds whatever he wants. He sends it on to Nate. Nate mixes it, and that brings us to today. So Nate's the only one who's heard this song. We're going to listen to it together with you for the first time in just a few minutes. So let's go ahead and bring in the boys.
Wow. Hello.
Nate's making a nice coffee.
It caught me pouring my cold brew.
There you go.
It is cold brew season.
All right. Hello. So every week we start with a question, and this week we're going to use one of my favorite questions. So this week I'm posing it, and I'm going to answer it right off the bat because this week I'm prepared. If you had to be a candy, if you were a candy, what candy would you be and why? And I'm going to go ahead and answer it while you all think about your amazing answers. If you're at home following along with us, go ahead and write in your responses. I would be Ferrero Rocher because I'm a little bit fancy, a little bit, but but once you get to know me a little bit better, Ferrero Rocher is actually made by Tic Tac, which is just completely ridiculous. So, and I think I'm completely ridiculous. So I think that's a pretty good candy for me. Who's ready?
All right.
Who's got a candy?
Who's got a candy?
I would 100% be a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup because A, they're my favorite.
Fair enough.
Also B, it's like the working man's candy. You know, it's not that impressive, but like, you know, it gets the job done and it's really good.
I love it.
And I think the same things about myself. I'm not that impressive, but it's very good and it'll get the job done.
That's right. I love it.
That's a good answer. Yeah.
Oh, this is bad cream.
Taimir, you go next.
All right, Fizz Biz, what candy would you be and why?
I would be a candy corn because no one would eat me then.
Okay. All right. I'm logging out.
That's a good answer. Yeah, Taimir, beat that.
I can't beat that. I'd be a Kit Kat probably.
Kit Kat?
Yeah, probably Kit Kat. Because I mean, come on, they're Kit Kats.
Yeah.
Oh,
give them a break.
I'm here. Come on.
Break me off a piece of that.
Break me off a piece of that, guy.
You want some? Y'all want some?
I love it. That's great. Okay, so this week we did a song, Don't Let Me Go. Here in a second, we're going to go ahead and play it. Nate's the only one who's heard it. You're going to hear it live with us. Go ahead and give us your responses.
Oh,
Speaking of which, I see Allison Ewing says she'd be Snickers. That's a good one. That is a good one. A little bit nutty, right? There we go.
Hey.
And here we go. So we're going to go ahead and play a song. Don't Let Me Go. After the fact, we'll talk a little bit about the song, tell you how we made it, give you a little bit of the inspiration behind it, and we'll play it again a couple more times near the end of this. So for the first time ever, in 3, 2, 1.
Don't let me go. Don't let me go. I was running fast down a dead-end street. You told me take it slow, baby, take it slow. Was it gonna last? I could feel the heat, and my mind was racing, not a place to go. Running on empty, I got nothing left. Staring right at me, said take a breath. Don't let me go. Don't
Nice.
Hey!
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that is so different than the last time I heard it.
Boop!
Oh,
Look who
that's
it is.
exciting. That's
Benji
Benji boy.
How's your break going?
Oh, he's muted.
Hello. I didn't know I was gonna pop in right then.
Yeah.
Keeping it loose.
Welcome.
Wait,
Hello.
Benji, did you shave?
I did. Oh, I have
Why?
the background blur on too. And let me. Nope, that doesn't help.
Benji is joining us. He had a work shift today, so he's popping out on his break to say hello to everybody.
Hello.
In just a second, we're going to play a video where he talks a little bit about what he added to this song.
Yeah,
but while
I didn't know I was gonna be in, so I pre-recorded a video.
But let's go ahead and while everybody's in, and Phil, we can just keep it on this scene here.
Sure.
Could you tell us if there's anything that's not in the video, something that you added?
Me?
Yeah. What's
So I mean, if we're starting with me on that stuff, basically, so what I did was, I would say play the video and then I'll address things. That makes more sense to me.
Okay. If you got time for that, we'll do that. So let's go ahead and let's go and cut over to Phil, and Phil's going to tell us what he sent me. So, and it will play in the background while Phil's talking. Ooh, I hear some horns.
Yeah, this was fun. This one was sort of all based on a drum loop that I found. I had a big chorus, thinking, for those of you old enough to remember, Good Fridays with Kanye West, back when he was a little less crazy. And he would release a new song every week leading up to his album, and most of the songs weren't even on the album. But this had a real big chorus vibe like that, and so the drum loop was the next part. And I think what I sent otherwise was pretty sparse, some synth, but mostly just really heavily processed vocals, so that it sounded like that early 2000s Kesha, Kanye era. And I sent, I think, some strings too, but it's really cool to hear what you guys piled on top of it. So I'm really happy with this one.
That's awesome. Yeah, it was the first thought I had was Lost in the Woods, like the Bon Iver, Kanye. Bon Iver song that Kanye liked, so he just made it into his own song.
Yeah, there's one called Christian Dior Denim Flow, which
amazing
for you kids at home, yeah, look it up on the old SoundCloud.com. It's really, really good. And I was sort of like,
Dior.
I didn't write it to that, but once it was written, I was like, okay, it kind of could fit in that world. So
yeah,
reverse engineering.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh. Also, can you just say that name again?
Christian
that song?
Dior Denim Flow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So you sent it to me, and I got it. And as I said, my first thought right off the bat was, this kind of has that Kanye, like that auto-tuned feel, and it had a lot of strings in it. So one of the first things I did was I actually pulled apart Phil's string parts, and I separated it out into kind of a full string orchestral style performance, and that definitely added a lot. And then one of the second things I did was that Phil already had it, as he said, he told me right off the bat that he built this song around a drum loop, so he kind of wanted that to be the driving force. So I knew drums wasn't going to be my main addition to this song, but I had this idea kind of based off one of the synth parts that he did to add this like sub 808 style, like boom, 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 that sounds like a synth, but it's actually just like a sub kick hitting in the key of the song. And I wrote a little musical part for that, and I'm stoked that actually made it in, because the first thing Benji said to me when I sent it to him was, "Hey, I'm gonna mess with all the drums if that's okay." And I was like, "Sure, go for it." So that still made it in. I was relieved by that. And then I was listening to it back. I was about to send it on to Benji, and I just thought, this moment near the end, like 3/4 of the way in, if full like natural drums came in right here, it would be sweet. So that's what I did. So I threw some natural drums right there, and that plays out through the end, and it rocks. It kind of builds up until it's rocking out right at the end, and then the song ends. And that's all I did. So it's playing in the background behind me right now. You can hear some of those parts kind of isolated out. But then I sent on to Benji, and we have a video of Benji, since he wasn't sure if he'd be able to be on this week, where he's going to talk through the parts he added. So let's go ahead and kick it over to Benji's video.
Live from the Benji Zone, it's the Benji Boy. Hey, what's up? It's Benji from Broke Royals. So for this week's song, I'm kind of excited because I did something I never do, which is I didn't touch my guitar the entire song. Like I listened to it and I was like, I don't think I need to put my guitar on this song. I went deep with synthesizers. So I have a little synthesizer here and it's got a bunch of different drum sounds that I programmed into it. And I programmed those to make a really solid kind of hip-hop style beat. And then on top of that, I started throwing little accents, little shakers, little cowbell sounds, all of that sort of stuff. And then I went in after the fact and just added little tiny melodies that would occasionally pop in and out. But I really spent most of my time here filling out the percussion space in this song. So I kept it pretty simple. I think the only other non-percussion and little plinky synth thing I did was near the end. I threw in kind of a thick warm synth to just kind of warm up those parts where there's a lot of other synthesizers happening. But other than that, I really left this one alone when it comes to writing melodies and writing stuff like that. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it came out well. I'm sure it did. But yeah, back to you guys out there.
Benji. All right, so that's Benji's video. I'm going to go and bring him in since he was able to join us. And you're going to tell us you had some other thoughts beyond the video with Broke Royals, where you tell us a little bit more about some of the inspiration behind those parts that you added.
Yeah. So basically, like, I find it's cool. So like you were talking about how like Phil really built this song around like a drum loop, and like that was definitely like I could tell that when I was first listening to it. I think he had labeled it like creaky drums or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is like not a word that you would think would work with drums, but like it did. And like I really liked how like the flow of everything worked with that. But I just felt like there was like they could have been like, just because they were a little, to lack of a better word, creaky, I felt like they could just punch up just a tad more. So I basically recreated that with my little drum machine, and I basically re-recorded that whole part and then just kind of messed around with it. It was fun because I don't usually do anything like creatively with percussion in this band, and I just kind of went full in and decided to just give it a shot, and I like how it ended.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's cool, and it's hilarious because this song had 3 people do drum parts on it. Mm-hmm. and it turned out great. And sometimes that's the best way, is like, oh, I like that idea, but I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Like I just have this slightly different idea, and no, it's awesome. That's great, man. Well, thanks for tuning in. Stick on, and if you're still able to be here, we'll have everybody back in just a minute. But you send it on to Taimir. Taimir added Nate just told me some tasty guitar parts, so I'm excited to hear about that. So Taimir, let's hear what you added to this song.
So, yeah, this was really fun to work on because when sent it to me, he told me from his end that he had never really approached adding parts to a Broke Royal song in this way before. And, you know, when I was listening through it, the bass part was fairly easy to figure out, you know, just add some funk to it every now and then, and have it increase in tension as the song goes on. But then I was like, wait a minute, there are like no guitar parts on this song at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, I might be able to do something here. So there are the 2 main things. There are really 2 main guitar parts that I added. One, that siren sound that shows up after.
Oh, that's a guitar?
Chorus. That's a guitar, and I believe I think Nate messed with it and made it, you know, like kind of murky and washy, so that it sounded more like a siren, which I loved. I thought that was awesome.
That is awesome.
So that, and then at the end, if you hear like a sort of what's the way to, you know, like a washy sort of ascending kind of atmospheric thing in the background, that's me. I my reverb pedal that I used for it, I like cranked the mix all the way up and just had the volume kind of swell up, so you're not getting you're not actually getting any of my attack or anything. and yeah, it just kind
Cool.
of goes off, and yeah.
So
I was
like
really
normally when you strum a guitar chord, you hear at the beginning and then it trails out. But this is like the reverse. So you like strum it, you hear nothing, and then it swells up.
Yep.
So it like
up. Yep.
builds tension. Oh man.
Yeah. So I was really, really happy about that.
Yeah. That's cool.
It was a lot
man.
of fun. Yeah. And like Ben said, he's never really, done anything creatively when it comes to percussion for this band, and that's the same thing for me with guitar for this band.
That's because you have a great percussionist. They call me the rhythmatist.
That's what they call you.
That's what they call me, the rhythmatist. Yeah, so we've never needed that before, but exactly. Why not have it this week? So no, that's awesome. Well, if you're just tuning in, we are going to play the song here again in just a minute. I'm already stoked to listen to this song again. I cannot wait. I'm like freaking out. It is so different, so cool. Ty, everything you did is awesome. And I just gotta say, there's like it's a subtle thing, but there's like this palm muted bass part that's like
yeah.
That just adds so much drive that like I think of that as a drum part, as a rhythmatist, as you would say. I think of that as like a drum part that it's like almost like a kick drum, like a do 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 do. But like, oh man, it's awesome.
That's
awesome. That's cool. All right, so you send it on to Nate. Nate, let's hear what you did. You said Nate did not add anything this week, but he mixed a song for us like he does every week. So we can go and kick over to Nate, and he's going to tell us a little bit about just kind of the most fun things he mixed and his mix decisions this week.
Oh, you're good. So, I had fun with this one. I only had, so normally they give me 2 days to add anything I want.
Yeah.
And then the next day I take to mix it. I mean, generally those lines get blurred between both days completely. But but I had to do a live stream on Wednesday, and so I had to cram everything into yesterday and this morning.
So you only had like a day and a half.
Yeah. So, but honestly, I did not feel that I needed to add anything. I mean, there were so many. Sorry, I'm scratching myself. There
had a whole live stream to do that. Wait till you're the focus of the thing.
Yep. So there, everything in there, I was like, this is sick. This is cool.
Yeah.
It took a lot of like arranging, and I removed some. There was so much low frequency information with this song.
Yeah.
Particularly Colin's arpeggiated sub. There was Taimir's bass. There was the synth bass that Phil added. There were like so many like super boomy kick drums. It was a lot to try and manage. And I think it worked out in the end. So that was a challenge. And then what?
It sounds great. So what? No, you're fine. It sounds awesome. The one thing I want to ask you a little bit about how you made Taimir's guitar into a siren, and then we're going to kick it back over and we're going to close out and listen to the song again. So how did you make a guitar into a siren?
Well, so that really wasn't my intention.
Okay.
It just, what I got was kind of bright, and it was a little crunchier. Maybe that's not the right word, but it was a little more like harsh than I wanted it to be. So I low passed it. So basically what that is it's a filter that cuts out all of the high frequencies, and I set it to a certain frequency to start rolling off that, and it just cut everything out above that frequency. And so that kind of like darkened it up a bit. And then I cut out some of the mid frequencies as well. And I compressed it. I really
crunched it up,
made all the louder. Yeah. Anyway. And then, so the thing that I've been doing a lot lately, which I am super into, it's been really fun. So for especially a guitar like that, and if it's like a mono source, so it's just one channel that comes directly at the center. So what I've been doing is I'll take the direct signal and I'll pan it to the left.
Okay.
And then I will send a copy of that signal to a reverb, but there's no direct signal coming through the reverb, kind of like what Taimir did. Then I'll pan the reverb to the right, and the reverb will basically be short enough to sound like you're just in like a room that has hardwood floors and no furniture.
Yeah.
So it's kind of ambient, but it's still a short decay. And I've done this on a number of songs that I've worked on. And it's a nice way of like making a signal that's just that
one
just
source
like
seem big,
thing, really
seem natural.
Widen it up,
Yeah.
spread it out, and give it some more wash without taking away any of the definition.
Sure.
And
no, that's
so,
awesome.
I did that with both of Taimir's guitar tracks.
Okay.
It worked out really well. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, that's great. Yeah, reverb is such a cool trick to just add space to. I mean, you got to do it. Well, let's go and bring all the boys back in. And I'm going to ask Phil. Phil's going to tell us, actually, before we bring all the boys back in, we're going to talk to Phil, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind the song, the lyrics, and kind of the inspiration behind it.
Well, thank you, Colin. We talked a little bit about how this is kind of a hip-hop inspired song. That's always something somewhere where you want to tread lightly as a white rock band or a white rock singer. And I definitely did not want to rap on this song. And so I was trying to think of who could approach a song like this, and was thinking that Bono from U2 was someone who would try it and wouldn't probably get it right every single time, but might get it right about half the time. So I was trying to think of like Achtung Baby era U2, really emotion, like vibe driven lyrics. He doesn't really place himself too much. He generally keeps things very broad. The streets have no name, like it's a lot of really kind of vague yet figurative and symbolic language that he uses. So, kind of fun to slip into that skin for a bit. 90s Bono, and the drums and the synths that just got built up around it, and that guitar stuff is perfectly suited to all that. So, yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm pretty thrilled with it.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks again. Alone Together, episode 5. This is the 6th week, if you count the pilot, that we have written, recorded, and released a brand new song and listened to it for the first time with y'all. Y'all, the best contraction in the world.
Finally getting you to bring out your Southern a little bit.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, don't forget that I am born in Wyoming, raised in Indiana, but I got a lot of Southern in me. So, this song, Don't Let Me Go, will be available to all Patreon members as soon as we get off this live stream. And we're really stoked on it. So we're going to play it again here in just a moment. We're going to see you all out, if you will, with Don't Let Me Go, the 5th week. We're going to be back next Friday at 4 p.m. with another brand new song for you. Excited to share that one with you, too. Little preview hint, it's called Flamingo, at least at this point. Who knows what might change between now and next Friday. All right. And we're going to see you all out. Enjoy Don't Let Me Go by Broke Royals. Patreon members get it for free right after this.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
Don't let me go. Don't let me go. I was running fast down a dead-end street. You told me take it slow, baby, take it slow. Was it gonna last? I could feel the heat, and my mind was racing, not a place to go. Running on empty, I got nothing left. Staring right at me, you said take a breath.